you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. We're just going to kind of just hang with me for a couple of minutes. We're going to give folks time to jump on. And tonight, I would like to try to be more interactive. I want to hear from everybody who's on, just doing a personal check-in and accountability check about how you're really doing. No, don't lie. Just, however you're doing, good, bad, or indifferent, let us know. We're going to go to the acts of faith and do all of that good stuff. I'm just going to delay for a couple minutes or something like that. Matter of fact, I might have Tier come on and do some announcements. Wayne, any announcements that he has? And then we'll get started. But it's just good to have you. I love you. I miss you. I'm sorry that we have to continue the process this way, but it's developing another muscle. And really, while I got a minute, Michael Liddell is really the one who helped Wayne and develop this technology. We had no idea, Mike, that when we initiated those discussions, that it would become, the very way that we maintain our relationship. So give Mike Liddell a little hand clap over there. Thank you and appreciate you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
And,
it's fantastic because you're not the only organization that we're working with that is doing this. Oak Grove Church Chainbreakers is now piped in on this, and they're able to connect the guys throughout the world with their organization. They're doing this now, and they have a Wednesday night group. So we're honored, we're pleased to help with facilitate this. So.
Good, and that's excellent. So listen, just hang there for a minute. I should have a commercial, but I'm not that sophisticated yet. But then I'm going to be right back with you, and then we're going to get going. All right?
Hey, how y'all doing?
We're doing good. Brad, how are you?
Good, thank you. Y'all being safe, germ free.
For sure.
Miss Thomas, is that you, sweetheart? I can't see you, baby. Hey, Mike, I see you. Hey, I see the Monseses. Hey, Pasa.
What's happening?
No.
Brother Shane.
We're just trying to make this thing work for us. You guys didn't work all this hard to get out of the penitentiary just to have COVID-19 or COVID-20 or COVID-21 mess up your campaign. So we worked too hard, you know what I mean, to get out of here. COVID is a bad man, but we can't give him a victory without giving ourselves a fighting chance, right?
Right.
Good. And Chris Owsley just came on, him and his wife, down there, and tell her I said, show me that ring, and let me know that you put that ring on it. Hey, oh, wait a minute, she put a ring out. I love it. Oh. Chris, you know what? You've been saving your food stamps, man. I didn't know that's what you was doing. Yeah, that's beautiful, man. Way to go. Way to go. Go ahead. Owsley, go ahead.
I said she been had three. She had two of them.
Two rings. You got me beat, baby. I may have to figure out something. Well, listen, we're going to do this. We want to hear from everybody tonight. I need to hear your voices. And just for my own soul, I just need to hear your voice. I want to hear from you. I got a little something I want to share, but your voices are most important. And we have the acts of faith. I don't know if you got it on your phone, and maybe you can't get it while we're.
You have to click on notes to see it.
You have to click on notes, Wayne says, if you want to see the acts of faith. So if you have that, and look, Bradley's just looking so astute. He just looks like a good pop student sitting there like that in his lime green sweatshirt. You know, I like that, man. That lime green looks good on you. Oh,
Thank
there
you.
you go. There you go. So here we go, and follow along with me if you can. It says true power comes through cooperation and silence. That's March 31st. True power comes through cooperation and silence. Have you ever heard the sun come out in the morning? Did you hear the moon come out last night? Can you demonstrate the sound made by the fusing of the sperm and the egg to create the miracle of life? We have been taught in this society that power is loud, forceful, aggressive, and somewhat intimidating. It is not. In silence, the Creator works. His creations all appear in silence. In silence, one becomes attuned to the energies and forces that are unseen and unheard. In silence, one learns to cooperate. We must cooperate with the flow of activity. In silence, one learns to bring the head and the heart into cooperation in order to move with the strength and the power of the forces in the flow. Keep silent about your hopes and dreams. Cooperate with yourself by doing only those things that will bring them about. Wow. Cooperate with yourself by doing only those things that will bring them about. Be silent about what you're doing, what you are doing, and when you're doing it. Cooperate with those who will silently support you. In the silence of the night, your dream will come true. And when the chatterboxes come to look for you, you will be gone. Silence
What?
is my best friend. I cooperate fully in
You
its
said
presence.
Earl?
Mhm. Amen. Wow, what a word. And so I'm just going to go around and see who's all with us and then have you all just go ahead. I see Eric and Tammy are the Washingtons are on. Brad is on. Owsley is on. Michael Liddell is on. Um, so just jump in and share your reflection as we would normally do around the acts of faith. And we can go back and read some more if you want. Somebody jump in.
I'll go.
Thank you.
Well, what strikes me is the odd circumstance and situation that we're in being sheltered and all this stuff. So you have nothing but silence that you can create for yourself. And I'm finding that for me, when I read this, be silent about what you are doing and when you're doing it. Cooperate with those who will support you. In the silence of the night, your dream will come.
Wow.
It's a lot of self-realization, realizing that you can do this and that you have the resources yourself. And for me, I'm finding that to be very productive, some power, some peace of mind, even in chaos. The silence is my best friend because we have, right, it's kind of a thing right now,
Hmm.
and you have to plug those plays in when you can. And if I think about some of the blessings that are coming through the silence, we had a work conversation today, and I think it ended up, for me, it ended up being surreal. And that Bridging came through is actually following Waltz's guidelines and trying to create some harmony amongst its team. And they did that to continue our payroll all the way through at least the 18th of April. And then they'll take
Wow.
it from there. The irony there is donors have stepped for our contributing to Bridging in order to support the staff efforts that we're doing.
Wow.
So through prayer and through a lot of self realization, I'm finding that these blessings come in very odd places. Another thing that I've been doing a lot of for by myself, I had a very positive outcome for Bryce and Emily, who I lost their child. And they went through all their tests and found out that they are genetic compatible and that they've isolated themselves just being alone and figuring things out. So they've been given the go ahead that they can have it continue to work on and having their own child. So through this odd silence that I've been experiencing, there's a lot of blessings that are coming.
Bradley, that's an awesome praise report. And just in case you weren't hearing him clearly, I just want to reiterate a thing or two that Bradley shared to make sure we're clear. I think that what he shared is that Bridging, which is his employer, hey Rashad, Bridging, his employer, has opted not to run from its staff, but they've decided to fund their staff's payroll, I guess at its current, whatever the current pay rate would be, into mid-April and maybe even until the end of April. And that, I mean, that's an amazing gesture. Um, hey, Sherrod, it's an amazing gesture from an organization that says it's there to help people, but now it has had to face, like so many others, its first real test about whether or not what they say about themselves is actually true. And Bradley's testimony just shared, one says is included in that, is that Bridging put their money and their resources where their mouth is. And that is amazing, and I'm so grateful to them. I wish I could tell you how many families and guys that I've moved in and out. Me personally, I mean, physically moved them in with Bridging's furniture. Bridging started off Pop One with furniture, furnished the whole house initially. It's just a stalwart of an organization, and clearly Bradley and Mumsez and others, the organization is blessed of the Lord. Clearly.
Hey,
Yes,
Shane,
Go ahead.
when we met today, something else that really struck me that I want to just reiterate is that the donors have been coming forward saying, what is it that they can do? So they've started to increase their donations, our major donors, in order to support the efforts and bring us back to where we were.
Right. Wow. That is amazing, Bradley. But now, I just want to be honest as we're talking to Brad, everybody's involved in this discussion, but Bradley opted to go first. I really appreciate that. But you know what? I really, over the week, I thought about how hard I was on you last week online. And it burned in me a bit because I knew that I was hard on you, and my struggle was I too hard, uh, or is this medium that we're on, this network medium, the correct medium for me to take you to a personal place? And I really labored with that the whole week. And let me just share with everybody that's listening. Bradley was man enough to admit to group, some about 2 months ago now, that he had a relapse. And you know what? I don't know if everybody is courageous enough to admit when they make a back step. It's really hard to do. And we get arrogant and egotistical, prideful, and stupid, and caught up in self. And I'm talking about me. Uh, but I am grateful for you, Brad, and your efforts. But I just want to point out to you, as you pointed out to us, your blessing, man, you're being blessed. Don't look backwards, Bradley. look forward. I'm talking to everybody here. Chris Owsley, don't look backwards, look forwards. You were in Minneapolis, but now you're in Wisconsin. Keep doing what you're doing. Um, Michael Liddell, look forward and even, what's the opportunity in the midst of COVID-19 for yourself and your company? I think you mentioned a little bit about that, seizing the opportunity. What is the opportunity in the midst of this crisis? Monses is both senior and junior. Um, how you had just transferred out of a new school and now an old school into a new school, and then bam, right here all of this happens and into a home finally, which is exciting, and we want to hear about how the house is developing for you all and what it feels like. But it seems like sometimes that the losers, whoever they are, always end up losing for some reason or another. Ooh, I'm gonna wait for the amens to die down. Yeah, look, somehow the losers always figure out a way to blow it. Well, this church is quiet, and I'm gonna tell you this is what I want to share with you, and this is this is all love. You know, that loser mentality is from your yesterday, just like the issues that you did not face, which ultimately sent you to the penitentiary. Those issues are issues of yesterday, and they won't serve you in this place called right now. And so I just want to get a praise report from you, Brad, about staying with your sobriety groups. What's happening with that?
Yep. I have joined the NA out. It's the organization by which you can join through Zoom,
Uh-huh.
and they have all over the country.
Wow. So you're
So I've
doing this
been a part
is a virtual thing?
what?
It's virtual?
Dan? Yeah, it's all virtual.
Wow. This is
And they have them
treat
24 hours a day. Been in Texas, I've been in California and Utah.
wow. Boy, this thing is amazing. Well, listen, man, I want, if I could say one thing to you, Bradley, is that maintaining your integrity and your sobriety, those two things are tied together, is ultimately going to produce a, a good life for you and for your children.
Yes,
Because
sir.
we want them to be not just your children, but all y'all's children, all of our children, to look upon us with favor. They never remember what you bought, but they will always remember the time that you were able to spend, or the integrity or compassion that you were able to show. Don't forget that. We're going to
Yes,
move over
sir.
to the Monsees real quick. I want to hear from Monsees Jr. about how you're adjusting to being at home and not in school.
Um,
Okay.
it was like really everything. I mean, everything was all new to me. Like I've never really lived in Minneapolis before, so at first I was kind of like iffy about it. But I mean, it's good now. Like the home feels like home, and being here just now that we have to be here. I mean, I'm getting more used to it each day and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like it. It's nice.
Well, good. That's good. Is that your brother right next to you?
Yeah, he just went in the bathroom, I think. But yeah.
Yeah. So tell that we're gonna get that boy in here and give him a holler in a minute. Sherrod, give us a check in. What you doing, man? How's things?
Everything good. Working still. Just got my
Good.
little letter for me to continue to work. Just by me doing new development for the construction workers, essential.
Right.
Uh,
Listen to
I
that.
mean, it's a good and a
Wow.
bad thing. I mean, I'm trying to stay, clear from it as possible. But I mean, with like like the shirt shop. I called the electric company, and I called. They said since it's a commercial business, they're not gonna. They'll turn my lights off.
Wow.
Residential, they okay with it. But if it's commercial meter, they'll turn it off. So I just been working and trying to stay safe. Wearing masks and gloves everywhere I go. So switching them up every chance I get. It's costing me a pretty penny because I'm moving around so much right now, but
Right.
trying to make it work.
Right. Yeah, man, that entrepreneurial spirit that you have is something to be admired. Patrick Nunn. Pat, are you online? No. Somebody step out and call Pat Nunn and have him call in here and quit playing. I love that entrepreneurial spirit, but I want to these times that we are living in, they create opportunity in one area. And see, Sharad, you are able in some ways to jump on those opportunities. Um, Patrick Nunn is trying to start up. Patrick, who just had the heart surgery
Yeah,
about a month ago, and you, Pat, who you were trying to connect with on the t-shirts, he's coordinated a little cleaning business. He's trying to put something together. Um, and is looking for to disinfect and clean organizations or offices that are open for business. So he's trying to seize that as an opportunity. Keep him in mind. I hope that he jumps on and explains in his own words what he's trying to do. But Sharad, I'm proud of you, man. You haven't turned back one time. And don't do it, right? If you get through this, boy, there's nothing that you won't be able to get through. And keep on turning them corners correctly. Rubber gloves or no, you know what I mean. You gotta make this thing work for you. For 1 minute, I'm gonna switch over to Rashad. Rashad is on. Rashad, give us a little check in. Hit your mic. You got your mic on mute, so you hit your mic button. Rashad is Mr. Technology, so he's supposed to know how to do all of this stuff. I'm the slow poke, right? Look, he's laughing, but he can't get on. We can't hear you, boy. What's up? Say something. Rashad, say something. No, he still ain't on. So let's do this real quick. Is Eric on? Think Eric might be
Yeah,
on the phone. Is Eric Washington?
I'm here.
Where you? Yeah,
I'm here.
Eric. Did you happen to hear the Acts of Faith?
Yeah, I just read it too because I got the book sitting right here.
Good. Wow. Go ahead. Do a check-in and let me know what you think about that Acts of Faith. We'll come back to you, Rashad. See if we can work with him, Rashad.
Look, we doing all right. Me and my wife have sat up ever since it's been on the web and listened to you. I might not have said nothing, but I was there. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Right now, I got you guys. Look, my TV got internet, so I can see you guys, but you guys can't see me because I ain't got the camera on my TV. So I'm looking at you on my TV, listening,
Wow.
talking to you through my phone.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man. Look at him. Look at EW messing with
Yeah.
that technology.
But listen, what I like the acts of faith, especially when it says we're supposed to love our brother and sister as we love ourselves.
Hmm.
What I like even better is I can sit up here on my couch with my feet kicked up, not worried but concerned with my wife, and she can see the things that I'm really into. She know about it, but I really like sitting here so she can listen to really see what I'm into and what turns me on, even though she know. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
No, I
having a good
do.
time right now.
Isn't that something? I do. I love that. And Miss Tammy, how you doing, sweetie?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
Good, good. You know what? We had a time together, Eric and Miss Tammy and myself and Brother Tier at the women's conference about 3 weeks ago. My wife was a keynote speaker there, and we had a little table, and the Washingtons attended, and we loved that. We love having you, and love spending time with you that way. And look, ever since that time, pretty much the city has been shut down in some ways.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
it's important for us, listen to this, and then Eric, I'm gonna go right back to you. It's important for us, listen to this, to press in, lean in on connecting through technology. Make it take it seriously. Connect on purpose. You make the group. It's not me. You make the group. When you're there, then we become a larger, more powerful, a more real group. And so it's important, as it more so than ever, to lean in on what we're doing. I'm gonna come back and tell you why. But Eric, now Eric, I don't know if you read the Acts of Faithful today, or maybe I got it wrong. Um, is this correct? But you
Oh
know
no,
what,
did I read it?
Eric, are you driving right now? What's happening with that?
My job is to stay at home, so nothing's going on just yet. Um, I'm thinking it's going to be a late start for me, and
Uh-huh.
then they're going to go, 24/7 with it. They're going to just grind it out. But
Right,
my wife, she's working from home.
right.
My mom's here, so we're basically hunkered down, and
Uh-huh.
we're good. You know what I
Right.
mean? We're good. We got everything we need, man. You know what I mean?
Good. That's beautiful, man. And I'm glad you got mom, and she's hanging with you, and tell her, she came to my birthday party, and I really appreciate it. I just went back and looked at all of those photographs from that party. It was so nice, and thank you very much. Um, I'm gonna shoot up to Montez Senior and just have him do a check-in real quick, and then your other son too. Franco, go ahead and let us know what's happening with you, man.
Everything is good for me. No struggles with anything, just a lot to be thankful for. Man, the new place is turning out really well. Um, Bridging, like we were talking about bridging, I work for the same company as Brad works for, so a lot of blessings
Oh,
there with being able
oh,
to receive payment, through work and stuff. But also, we talked about bridging furnishing. They furnish my place, and
Right.
let's see. I'd like to be able to show some of that if that's possible.
Okay. Yeah.
So, like this would be like
Did you paint?
walking. What was that?
Did you paint? You guys painted, right?
Yeah, we painted. Brad helped a lot, but we painted gray, so everything is gray. This is the living
hey,
room, furnished by Bridging.
you want me to
This would
run
be
up
like
to get that
That's
this would be
nice.
Chris,
the dining
shut your mic
room.
off, please.
bro?
Chris Burke, would you shut your
Uh,
mic off?
Headed into the kitchen. It's
Nice.
this is Monte's Junior's room over here.
Oh,
He got
wow.
things.
Very
Nice, man.
nice. Very nice.
This is me over here. That's the bathroom. I ain't gonna show you that, but
Uh, yeah.
uh, for the most part, though, they provided a lot of, just like above and beyond. I'm just extremely thankful. This time spent has been just like putting this place together, making it a home. So that's a real blessing for me, and I'm counting my blessings lately. When you offer advice, you spoke about being too harsh to Brad. I think the people that know you and that have a relationship with you, they understand. I understand that you challenge us. You offered me some things to think about last week as well, in a challenging way, but in an opportunity to be a student still and to still be learning, and my goal is to be teachable. And like tonight's acts of faith, it talked a lot of, well, it talked mainly about the two things that equal power, silence and cooperation.
Right.
And I've come a long way in life, you know, and they're like I understand the balance in communication, the times to be silent and the times to speak up. But there's still those areas that I need to challenge myself on. And so tonight's lesson is a lesson for me to really reflect and think about in which ways do I want to speak when I should be silent? In
Yeah,
which ways do I resist when I should cooperate? You know, and so those lessons and being teachable, that is something that connects me to this group that I stay, you know, in this group for, that I view as a power source for, to be challenged, you know, instead of just walking through something and not getting anything out of it, you know. So no matter, you know, the amount of learning that needs to be due, whether I need to learn a lot in silence or a little in silence or a lot in cooperation or a little in cooperation. There's still areas that, you know, if I'm being honest with myself, you know, there's always room to learn. So I look at those things as a learning moment and I view the messages that you give to each and every one of us. Like if you say something to another person, I view it as which area in my life could I use that information? You know,
absolutely.
so with that, it's appreciative. You know, I appreciate the feedback that you give each and every one of us.
Amen. And I thank you for saying that. And first of all, let's give Mumsez and them a big hand. Their house looks so nice, man. That, I mean, hey, I like that gray. That was kind of like that's kind of a cool little, you know. I like that. I like the flavor, right?
Yeah,
And I
thank you.
also want to say, Brad, I know you helped out a lot, and you know I appreciate that. And you know it's and you know why? I mean, because you recognize that it's a big thing in Monse's life to have his own place and to have it in his name and to have the lease and to provide a roof for his kids. You know what that is for him, and then you know you lent yourself to that. I appreciate that. That's where a pop guy is, you know, because we say to ourselves, we are the help that we have been waiting for. Nobody else is coming. Just think about it. And, you know, we are a very cooperative group. And, you know, I mean, we move in each other and fixing each other's cars and giving each other haircuts and doing all kinds of stuff. But Franco, I just want to share to you personally. Um, I can remember the times that we would sit in Lionel Lakes back at the little computer table in the education room where I would have my chair, you know, and set up shop. And we would break off and have those side meetings, just you and I, right? And we might break off and have 8 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, 9 minutes, but we were banging, getting right to the point and developing our relationship. Now, listen to this. I didn't understand when I initially started to go inside back in '05. I didn't understand all of what I was doing. I didn't get it all. But I can tell you by the time I got to you in Lino Lakes, man, I fully understood that building that relationship inside is everything toward keeping a relationship that works outside. And it's because of those long-term relationships that we have with one another that we can do some things that other organizations or entities can't do. It's not that we're overtly resourced, but we do have an overt ability to care and love on one another.
Yes.
And because of that, oh God, and because of that, we are the most successful. People hate this. They should be running
Mhm.
over here saying, "Man, what are y'all doing?" But they hate it, and that we are the most successful reentry group in the state of Minnesota. And so, in the coming weeks, not too long, Tierra or Wayne is going to be contacting you because while we're in this downtime, we're making a little small movie or mini little uh, documentary type deal about about what the role was that Pop has played in your life inside during transition and outside. And so what we want to do is put together a video that maybe 10 minutes or something long altogether, but or maybe longer, but maybe we'll have a short version and a long version, because I get tired and challenged by evidence-based practices. Makes sense to me when you're talking about COVID-19. But evidence-based practices as a theology doesn't apply everywhere. What do I mean by that? Well, what worked in the prison in New Jersey might not work here in Minneapolis. And what the experts say about what you should and should not do. I mean, DOC as the expert in some ways, or at least the leadership. I mean, if their model was working, they wouldn't need us. And then how did we mess around and come alongside of them and become the largest reentry group in the state before COVID-19? And even right now, I'm looking on the board here, and we're full of names.
748.
So I want you to know, man, your comments are meaningful to me, because those meetings we had in Lino, those 7 and 8 minute meetings that over a period of a couple years turned into a long time, have given us a foundational understanding of what we expect of one another.
Mm-hmm. And I remember that.
And you cannot build a house unless you first lay a foundation. I'll wait for all the amens to die down.
Yeah.
Amen.
And I remember those minutes, and I remember those conversations, and I remember in my head telling myself that no matter what happened, I was going to follow through. But I never overly committed to that agreement orally. And I think that part of that was being afraid of not being able to follow through. But part of that was really wanting to walk the walk instead of talk the talk.
Right.
And so when I got out, the first meeting that I could, I made it. And, just maintaining that relationship has been vital to me, because it feeds an area of my life that is important, like one of the most important areas of my life. That connection, that challenge, that learning, that camaraderie, that community, that like-minded people vibe that I get that can't be replaced, and so that's a lot of what Power of People is for me. It's a continuation for me to stay on the right track,
Yeah. I hear that, and I feel that, and I just will add to you and to everyone else. We don't want to admit this, but secretly we are frightened of the dog, the big old dog that's chasing us. And that big old dog who's chasing us has come from yesterday, right? And so sometimes we subconsciously have accepted that the dog is always going to be chasing us forever, and that every now and then the dog gets a bite. But you know what I'm trying to say to us right here, there are other dogs in front of you that if you manage them, the one behind you can't catch up. Ooh, man. Speaking of which, I'm gonna change over, Franco. I'm gonna change over. I want Rashad to come back in. Rashad, are you live? We still don't have you, son. Okay. Just keep doing. So I'm gonna just share. I was talking to Rashad earlier, right? And Rashad called in and just hollering at me about a situation that happened that is building. So now, Rashad's got his own place, has his it's in his own name, he's on the lease, all that good stuff, man. That success breeds. Well, anyway, the neighbors start to clown last night, I guess, right? And they're having a domestic. Well, interestingly, can't you remember when the domestic was you? And when the clowning was you, and the neighbors, some other neighbors called about you, right? And you went to jail too. Oh God, hey son. Ananiah just walked in, and you know what? I tell you what, Rashad had the responsibility last night of doing the thinking for himself, for his woman who was pregnant, and also for the woman next door who was being beaten. So listen to this. Rashad, he could have just stayed in his own space and allowed the beating to continue. Let me say this. The individuals involved were European. He's African American. We already know sometimes the script gets flipped where we trying to be helpful, and the next thing you know, they got handcuffs on you. But you know what? In spite of those things, Rashad has been walking the walk in such a way that made him respond to that lady's pleas for help. She was being choked out. And Rashad, opened his door. They stopped the violence for a moment. He was able to run interference. This is a pop guy I'm talking about. He was able to run interference. The male was all juiced up and, on the other side of his mental health. The police did finally come and they made an arrest. And I just, the Rashad that did this, that maybe saved this woman's life last night, that might not be the Rashad from 12 or 15 years ago. But you got to understand, all of us, we are not who we used to be, even though it sounded good when we was lying about who we said we was, Sherrod. All them things we said we was. Willie Wimp and everybody else. I don't know who you said you was. I'm talking about, whatever. Dope man, Mr. Sexuality, all them things, Now all of those big lies that we was telling now have gotten small in the pop guy's eyes, right? We still have to deal with our thinking and in our quiet moments. But man, Rashad, I can't tell you how proud I was of you, man, taking the steps to save that lady, help that lady, keep her safe. I want everybody to give Rashad some love and some dap for that, because it was really important. Geronimo just jumped in, and so we. Who's that?
It's me, Patrick.
Pat. And so, Pat, we just were talking about you. And so, first of all, Pat, can you give us an update on your physical stuff, and then say what you want to say to the guys?
Okay. Well, my physical well-being has definitely been a whole lot better, and my health is okay and returning back to its much anticipated recovery. So I definitely appreciate, having done the surgery. Now it having the surgery does not mean that, nothing won't happen, but it does give me the insurance that if the emergency medical team, can't get to me in time, that this will give me an option to be able to, have that, kick in, that, if they weren't there, what would happen,
Right.
And so, I just, I also want to thank everybody in my group, just not for the recent support in pitching in, to help, for my rent, but for the constant support that you guys have been there to offer me throughout any, hard times and any much emotional and mental, support that I have needed. And, I appreciate you guys a lot. And, you guys are just as important to me as life is important to me as well. Wow. So thank you, guys.
Man, that's good, man. That's real good. uh, I was thinking about Calvin Robinson, Washington. You remember I told you Calvin was waiting for Patrick when he went to the hospital, and Calvin was the last face he saw before he went in. Pop guy was right there with him while they was wheeling him down the hallway.
Right,
And
right, 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 right.
and when he got ready to come home, Calvin was still there. I came and picked him up, and Calvin was still there, making sure that Patrick was all right.
Uh-huh.
And that was some powerful stuff.
Calvin. Yeah, yeah. Calvin was definitely. He was like. He even was holding the nurse back. He was like. Wait a minute. I just need 2 minutes with him. Just 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's all. That's all a pop guy needs is 2 more minutes.
Right.
Hey, Pat.
Right.
Now I know that you have been thinking about. Excuse me, about um, your business. You're trying to create that janitorial, disinfecting, and cleaning business. And so, why don't you explain what you're trying to do to everybody?
Oh, well, yeah, I had got a chance to, which is something I had been thinking about. Is starting a cleaning service. You know, I was thinking more residential and commercial cleaning, so that you know, with even before everything that went on, you know, it was just kind of something that, you know, I was thinking, you know, okay, hey, what can I do to, you know, have a business going, some type of asset, you know, for, you know, myself, as well as, you know, creating a job or jobs for me and my kids, as well as, you know, other family members and then other people that I know. So I went through, you know, the process with Larry Posey over at Neon, with getting the LLC started, and you know, he was helping. He was helping me to, you know, put some things
I can hear
together.
them, but they
So,
can't hear me.
you know,
Right.
But I got my
We
subject on
we
this.
I just
appreciate
need to
it.
check in with them, and then I'm
No,
done.
Rashad, you're on now. We hear you.
Oh, you can hear me now?
Yeah, but hold up. We'll come right to you after we get done with Pat.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
yeah,
see,
Weird.
we
I don't know nothing
we
Bay
hear you,
anyway, so that's
Rashad.
cool.
now you're making
All
all
right.
kind of noise, man. Y'all better hush over there, you know, before they call the police on you. Hey, but
No, no,
look,
that's
Pat. What Patrick, how do people contact you if there's somebody you know who wants cleaning done? You got to be able to get in contact with Pat or give him a thought or give him a call. So give people your number so that and y'all should have his number, but go ahead and give it out.
Okay. Well, my immediate number that, you know, they can contact me for, you know, cleaning services would be 651-502-5126. And then I also have a business number too as well, for people to be able to contact me on, and that number is 651-300-4277, and the name of the cleaning service is Infinite Express Cleaning Service.
All right, Infinite Express. I like that name, brother.
Well, thank you.
The Wayne, of course, if you didn't get that, if you didn't write that down, Wayne, you could call Wayne or call the office. We would get you Patrick's, information.
Okay.
And I mentioned to y'all last week that Larry Harris is out and at Damascus Way. If you know Larry Harris from Lino, call out to Damascus Way in Golden Valley. Just encourage him because all the men there are on total lockdown. If you don't
Okay.
have a job, then you can't even go out looking. They just shut it down, man. There's a couple more too that I know of that are completely shut down. It's like jailing in the neighborhood for real. So if you
Okay.
know Larry and Larry Harris, encourage him. He got a good attitude. He's out there at Damascus Way. Um, Rashad, I want you to jump in, man, because we've been trying to get you in. Give us an update on what's happening with your son, Rashad. Okay. Rashad, are you there? Yeah, we just can't hear you, son. Now, you were coming through loud and clear for a minute. Jump over to Geronimo. Jerry is on, and you know what? I got a new nickname for him, Black Panther, because you know, I got to steal this one. He has finally been able to go and buy a car. Now he done put together about 10 or 15 cars since he been home. And some of the cars he put together ain't got no business running. But he got them running anyway. But now he done went on, man, and finally brought something home that he can be proud of. And it's a black BMW 535, black on black with the brains blowed out. I'm just telling you, Wakanda forever. Give him a hand, give him a big hand, because he got his vehicle, and he's also got his business up and running. Give us a check-in, Jerry.
Okay.
I
Matter of
mean,
fact, can you show us the car?
yeah. I can do that.
Uh-oh. Y'all getting ready to go to the auto show. Come on, let's go to the auto show. Oh. Go around the side. The Black Panther. There it is right there.
Can you all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. Rashad is on.
Good, okay.
Now stay there, okay. But Jerry, man, that's beautiful. Look at it. Look at him. Outside of Pop 2 over there on the mighty north side.
I ain't even mad at him.
How does it, did Rashad say he ain't even mad at you? How does it feel?
It feels good, Pop. I mean, that's what hard work pays off. That,
Yeah.
like I was told, you know, and it does. I'm really happy for, you know, for what I did, what I accomplished. I did it the legitimate way.
Right.
It's all legit.
It's all, ooh, man. You sound like MC Hammer, don't he, Rashad? Too legit to quit.
Too legit to quit.
Yeah, I love it.
Hey, Brother Shane.
Hey, go ahead.
Pop
I got Larry Harris on the phone.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
Larry, check in. You got the guys here.
Pop guys, hello.
Give him a pop guy on 3.
Good to be home.
Pop
Want to say hello. Want to say hello to all you brothers, man. It's good to be out here.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a
good
blessing.
Give everybody a snapshot of your current situation out there, Damascus Way, Larry.
Well, right now, ain't nothing moving. Everybody on lockdown, but it's okay with me because I got staying power. I got the peace of God up on me, and it can't nothing stop that.
Wow.
Can't nothing stop it. So I'm very pleased to be here, you know, for the time being. But I got the staying power, and I'm still progressing.
Man, that's excellent. And let me tell y'all something about Larry. You know, he came home. He didn't have any clothes. About 2 days.
Oh, most definitely.
About 2 days
most
before
definitely.
he came home, a lady came by to our house, who we know, and she had all these shoes. And she was saying, you know, Shane, you got these guys, and I got all these nice shoes, and I don't know what to do with them, but I think these would be good for your guys and even for your son, Cornelius. So I asked Larry, just so happened 2 days later, Larry came home. I say, Larry, what size you wear? Because the shoes were 9.5 or 9. And Larry said, oh, yeah, I wear 9.5. Do you know Tierra took Larry out a pair of snake loafers, 9.5. Larry, did you get them?
I received them. Yes, I did.
Did you
That was
receive
a
them?
blessing right there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
you knew the pup guys was thinking about you a little bit, huh?
Oh yeah. Tell them brothers I'm really appreciating them. You know, and I'm keeping them in my prayer, and I'm asking God to put an edge of protection around them and their family, and keep them safe from all this virus that's going around,
Yes,
and
sir.
know that they are covered in the blood of Christ.
Amen.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
They hear you, man. Larry, man, you got to keep that positive attitude out there Damascus Way, because there's going to be a lot of negativity, and the longer y'all stay up on each other, the worse it's going to be. So be very careful.
Oh, you know, it's really some things that has happened, but you know, I had to pass it up, you know, because I ain't going that way no more. I told you that. So you know, there's some stuff going on now in the lot, but I'm not part of that no more.
Yes, sir.
That's my past.
Gotcha.
You know, we're not bringing that up.
Gotcha.
You know, them boys there, they doing something, you know, that they shouldn't, but you know, that's on them, not me. I'm staying put.
Larry, I'm gonna switch back over to Rashad. We've been struggling with his microphone, but I think he's on now. Rashad, what you got?
Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Okay. All right, good. I'm glad. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to use headphones and headset. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, everything's pretty much the same with me. Hold on, let me sneak her in. I got my girl here.
Abby.
All right.
What's up?
She's doing good. Got a little bump on her. We're doing good with that.
That's good.
Yeah, but no, we you know, kind of Pops already kind of explained my situation last night, and you know, I'm glad I was able to assist the couple in struggle, or the struggling couple. Yeah, it just dawned on me how many people, myself included, who hear stuff like that going on and just think, well, that's their business. That ain't got nothing to do with me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody getting dragged down the street or choked. He was choking this girl right in the hallway in front of me. In front of my door, just choking her. Like I've watched her stop breathing.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
so I called the police. I opened the door. She tried to run into my building or into my apartment. So yeah, it got really interesting. But the police came and arrested dude and charged him with felony strangulation. Yeah, felony strangulation. So
you know, I hope the lady is all right, but man, I'm so glad that you intervened and helped him, man. You could have saved her life.
Yeah, I think I did. Because he obviously got some mental health stuff going on, and I've known that for a while. Just looking at him, you know what I mean. I can just tell with dudes or some people, they got bad energy and bad spirits all on top of them. So he's one of those. But no, I'm
Can Abby hear us?
hold on, let me. Possibly talk to you. Hold on.
This is his significant other, and they're respecting a little boy in July.
Yeah.
Abby. Hey. Tell us how you doing.
Healthy. I'm blessed that I get home. I'm just staying back. I'm eating fresh food. I'm taking a break. I'm doing my yoga. I'm trying to be nice to my boyfriend. And yeah, so I'm very blessed. This is a part of the nature of reality and humanity, and I'm doing my best to stay safe and healthy, but also being very grateful for what I have.
What about your parents? Aren't they further up north? Are they well?
My birth parents are here. They doing good, and My birth mom, she's still working.
Oh, good.
She works at one of the food places at where she work at Rugs at Byerly, so she's got to go in every day.
I don't know. It's coming to your phone.
Good to
And then
hear.
my adopted parents, they're down in Arizona. They're just fine.
Okay, good. Listen, we're sending you guys all the best. Rashad and Abby, I'm proud of you for handling your own life. And I know that sometimes that gets complicated. It's the same for all of us. You have to keep, love first.
Right.
And, keep love out in front of it. Remember, relationships are built on the ability to relate to what the other one is going through or thinking. And so relationships have to have a measure of the other person inside of each other, right? It's like a coin. And both sides, heads don't work. It doesn't spin without the tail. Woo. So listen, we got love for you. I'm gonna switch over to Tony Campbell. TX, you doing all right?
Man, we fantastic, man. I'm sitting back waiting on the opportunity to be
Put your mic
a
on.
insurance.
Put your mic on. I think you're on mute.
I can hear him a little bit.
Yeah, we hear you a little bit. Maybe it's volume. Go ahead, try it
Just
now.
hold it to your face. Hold it up to your face.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
A little bit. Tony, mess with your microphone for a minute. I'm gonna come right back to you. Hey, Mike Liddell, give us the update on what's going on with you, man. And
Yeah,
Lolita,
nothing too much. I got furloughed for about 60 days from Enneagram International. And just maintaining my company, trying to stay healthy. Been supporting a lot of organizations to do online meeting with their employees and local church organizations to keep together with some of the support groups. But just taking it easy.
and so, hey, Mike, that one group that you belong to, who I met the director of, is that group still going?
Yep, that's I am now in charge of their online meeting sessions, and that's our second presentation will be tomorrow.
Oh wow! So whenever this quarantine is over, down the line, I'd like to come out and visit that group sometime, and I'd like you to set that up whenever we get beyond this. Probably gonna be a while yet, but whenever that happens, I'd like to go out there and speak with you all at that group. Is that all right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the same thing. Don has asked about you too to have you come out, meet the guys. It'd be a great bridge. We work with Damascus Way a lot and a lot of the other halfway houses. Just bringing guys to Christ and loving them and accepting them, and it's a great organization.
Well, make sure, man, send my regards to them, and as soon as this thing lifts, I'd like to come out there and give them a holler. Tony,
All
what's
right.
up with you?
Can you hear me now?
Still can't hear you too good, just barely. We see you good. Looking healthy.
Unmuted. Can you hear me now?
Can't hear you yet. No leader, check in.
Muted. Muted.
Hey, there go the queen. Get the queen a hand right there now. Come on.
There you
Come
go.
on now. Yeah. Yeah. What's
All right,
happening?
all right.
How y'all doing?
All right.
I'm holding on.
Talk to us.
Well, I'm here holding on and working with my group. I've been kind of in a place with the Minnesota Recovery Coach. They had an interview with them last week, and I did well on the interview. So I'm trying to move and groove in this little downtime.
Well, I appreciate that. That recovery coaching piece is a good piece for you to add to your repertoire. And so I hope that goes well. Um, I I just said I wasn't going to talk about our brother tonight in some way that's negative. It doesn't really serve a purpose. He is who he is, and we are in the situation we are in. I just want to say this one thing, and and that now you know the little country of Seoul, South Korea. South Korea is like the size of New York, small, um, huge and populated like New York though. And Seoul, South Korea tested all of its residents. 10,000 people a day they tested. Now they don't even have a test here. Still, to me, there's that says a lot to me about the dynamic of what we're facing. Right? I'm gonna leave it right there. Tony, are you there? TX, are you there? What's happening?
Can you hear me?
We just hear you so just a little bit. Uh, I will tell you if you guys can you mic some of you guys can mic your mute your mic. That might give Tony more volume. Try it now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, just barely. But go ahead and just do your best.
Well, I just got interviewed from American Life.
Okay.
American Life interviewed me. They got my resume online, and he looking to test me. I got to take a 3-hour test to be a life insurance agent. I'm gonna be driving from resident to resident, but the place the test is closed thanks to Corona. So I'm waiting on this stuff to overthrow, and then that way I can show proof of income because I got a 2-bedroom apartment in St. Paul waiting on me. The lady's gonna pretty much I'm gonna get approved because my credit score, all of them is above 500, and that's the criteria to get the apartment. So once I get the job, I can make the move.
All right. Well, listen, man. Now we didn't hear it loudly, but we did hear you good. And so, for right now, in your housing situation, I know that you should be cool there for a while because of the virus.
Right, I'm okay. Ain't nothing they
Okay,
can do.
good.
They
And
can't push up on nothing.
good, and
Cause I'm
that's
still making
important.
my move.
I
I'm
don't.
still preparing. I'm still preparing to make my move.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I'm glad you got online tonight. Let me see if is Will on. Will, are you there? Okay.
I don't see Willie
No,
nowhere.
he's not here right now. But listen, here's what we're gonna do. I want to. I just want to share with everybody who's listening that uh, I have an expectation. Somebody have to mute the sound from the background, whatever you're doing there.
That was
Okay.
me. I just closed the door.
Okay.
Hey Shane, I got to go now.
Who was that, Larry?
This is Harry. Yes.
Larry, we love you, man. Give Larry a pop guy on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Pop guy.
Hey.
All right, all right. Peace out.
Love you.
All right. Love you guys. Okay. All
We've
right.
been looking
Bye.
after Larry, the best we can while he's out there at Damascus, and our work is still in force. What we are, what I want to do, we're gonna close it up here. It's gonna be just about 7 o'clock. We're gonna pledge out, and so I'm gonna have you repeat after me. But before we do, I just want to talk a little bit about close proximity, just real briefly. You're starting to realize what your normal life was on a day in, day out basis, as opposed to what your life is like under these circumstances. I think it's going to get a little worse before it gets better. I just want you to be prepared for that. The 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 governor of Minnesota has tried to be very proactive and not align his thinking with necessarily with the federal thinking, but at the same time, when I look at what is going on in Louisiana in Philadelphia, New York, and New Jersey. Um, it's heading toward the Italy situation. And I know you've known that Italy is really being hit hard. So what that means is we have to learn a new way of being close, being in the house all the time or close to all the time, making sure that you're using your good words, your good language, you know, to communicate with other people who may be a lot more stressed out than they initially appear. Just beware, be mindful that spark could set something off, and you just don't want to be involved in those kinds of situations. I could go on about that. Some I'm not going to belabor it. It's a struggle for me in my house, and we got a house full of two 18-year-olds and therapists. My wife and I, we can. I don't know. We blessed to be able to love on each other and not get in each other's way. Because I want my wife to win. And so if she wins, then that means I win also. So we're not in competition. She's the winner. I'll be the runner-up because if I'm the runner-up to the winner, I'm still pretty good.
I like that.
Yeah. But anyway, look, I want you to pledge out with me. I want you to know we love you here at POP. We ain't playing. Every man who's on this call right now, we have a personal relationship. I'm invested in you and me and this group and this organization. Somebody say I am.
I
I
am.
am.
Somebody.
Somebody.
Yeah. Okay, then we're going to pledge out like this. I want you to speak loudly for me. I will
I will
balance my family value
Balance my family
balance my family values
with my goals.
with my goals.
with my
I
goals.
will
I will
I will
exercise wisdom
exercise wisdom,
exercise wisdom,
what I choose to eat,
what I choose to
what I
eat,
choose to eat,
read,
read,
and do.
and do.
read, and do.
I will
I will
I will
strive to make
I
all
will
relationships
strive to
strive
make
to make
all
all
relationships
relationships
strive to make all
win-win
relationships
win-win
win-win
or no deal.
or no
or
deal.
no deal.
or no deal.
Think carefully about that. I will
I
I
will
will
I
under
will
every circumstance
under every
under every
circumstance,
circumstance,
under every circumstance,
especially now
especially now.
especially now.
with attitude. I don't hear you.
repeat it.
I will
I
I
will
I
will
will
enjoy life
I will
enjoy life
enjoy life
enjoy life
while taking advantage of my opportunities,
while
while
taking
taking
while
advantage of my
taking
while taking
advantage
advantage
of
advantage
opportunities
of
my
my opportunities
opportunities
learning from my misfortune.
and learning
and
from my
learning from
and
my
misfortune.
learning from my
misfortune.
misfortunes.
I will
I
I
will
will
I
I
will
will
on circumstances
Circumstance.
every circumstance
rather than have them act upon me.
rather than
rather
rather
have
than
them
than
act
Rather
have
than
upon
them
me.
have
act
them act
upon me.
upon me.
I will
I
I
I
will
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 on a daily basis
On a daily basis,
daily
be
basis
proactive with my goals.
be
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 proactive
be
with my
proactive.
proactive with
goals.
my goals.
I will
I
I
will
I
will
will
always
I
protect
will
my wisdom,
always
always
protect my
protect
always
my
wisdom,
protect
wisdom,
my health,
always protect my wisdom,
my health,
my health
my health,
my health,
and my
my
happiness.
health
and
and
my
and
my
my
and
and
my
my
happiness.
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 I will
I
I
I
will
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 I
I
stay
will
will
principle centered
stay
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 principle
stay
principle
centered
principle
centered
principle
centered
and
centered
maintain a positive circle of influence.
and
and
maintain a
maintain
maintain
a
a
and
positive
maintain a
positive
positive
circle of
circle
positive
of
influence.
circle of
influence.
influence.
I will
I
I
I
will
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 daily
daily learn,
Daily
Daily
learn,
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 learn
commit,
commit
commit,
commit,
commit
and do,
and
and
do
and
do,
do
including staying healthy.
including
including
staying
staying
including
healthy.
including
healthy.
staying healthy.
I will I
I
will.
will. I will.
I will.
Act according to the POP Leadership Institute
Act
Act
according
according
to
to
the
the
Act according to
POP
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 Leadership
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 Institute
Institute
and be productive in my community
and be
and
and be
be
productive
productive
in
in
productive
my
my
in my
community
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 and my private life,
and my
and my
and
And
my
private
private
my
life.
private
life.
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 because I'm afloat like a butterfly
Cause I'm a
Cause I'm
Cause
a
float
I'm
like
a
a
Float like a
float
Like
like
a
a
butterfly
butterfly
butterfly.
and
butterfly,
sting like a bee.
sting like a
and
bee.
sting
and
like
sting
a
like a
bee.
bee.
Well, I love you. I love y'all.
Vice
If I don't
versa.
see you, I'm gonna talk to you before the week is out. Gerard, keep working hard. Rashad, y'all keep watch out for Abby and the baby. Michael, keep on connecting these organizations. Miss Lolita Thomas, I love you. Keep on being the queen. Bradley, keep your sobriety first and your family first. Montez and Sons, you guys continue to bask in your blessing and put nothing else in front of it.
Will
Tony
do.
Campbell, keep looking for your place and your new job.
Yep,
All right, I
thank
got
you.
nothing but love for y'all. Eric and Tammy, I love you. I'll see you next week.
All right, Pop
All
Queen.
right,
Pop
Pops.
Queen.
Love you too.
Love you, Pops.
Pop, I
Peace.
love
What's
you,
up, Pop
man.
Queen?
Pop
All right,
Queen.
Pop Queen.
All right.
See you guys later.
Peace out, Stan.
All right.